I just want you to cut down the time that it took me to the thing that I learned at 30. I hope you can learn at 15 or 16. I just want you to be able to cut down on, I want you to be able to learn the lessons that can lead you to peace quicker. I know what life is like trying. I know what life is like when I say trying in this context in a bad way. I know what life is like to not be living in your peace and your comfort and your confidence. And I know what life is like to be living in your confidence. And you know what I mean? So it's like the time that it took me to get there on a more permanent basis, I flirted with it in my childhood and in my teens and in my 20s, but was never solidified in it. You know what I mean? It was always attaching it to something. But I think that's what I hope for them is like, yo, whatever comes after that is it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? As long as you feel at peace and comfortable, and you know, and that's really it. Like that would be the biggest blessing. Everything after that is a bonus. Once you just enjoy life on a content level, it's a bonus. I think there's two key ingredients. One is see yourself as high as you possibly can see yourself, right? So if someone wants to like be in the NBA, like they want to be an NBA player, to me that's not enough. There's a wide range of NBA players, right? There's an NBA player that never saw the floor. You know, he sat at the end of the bench his whole career, and they never re-upped his contract, and then he had to go fight in the G League, and boom, boom, boom. He was in the NBA. LeBron James is in the NBA. Who do you see yourself as? And there's no right or wrong answer. Clarify and define your vision for yourself in the highest possible way that you can see it. Do you want to be a 12-time All-Star? Do you want to be a league MVP? You know, you want to set the three-point shooting record? Be as specific and see yourself as high as you possibly can, right? That's your first job, is to see it as high as you can see it. Be delusional even, to the point where to where your mind, right at the apex of what your mind believes is possible, maybe push past that even a little bit and define it. And then number two is like, believe it. You know what I mean? Like see it all the time and believe it, and whatever you gotta do to protect that belief. My version of protecting that belief was I wasn't sharing this. I wasn't even telling my mom. She knew I rapped. She knew I did music. I'm not even gonna give my own mother the chance to try to bring me back down to reality. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, not gonna happen. So number one, dream as high as you possibly can. See yourself, not even dream. See yourself as high as you possibly can. Define that. Don't just say I want to do such and such. Because if you mess around and get such and such, you're gonna be mad that you didn't think about higher. There's a lot of people that do that. They're like, man, why didn't I think about being this instead of just this? Because at the time you thought just this was it. But do the thought work and see where you really want to be. You have to do the work, and because you love it, it's not always gonna feel like work, but sometimes it is. I'm sure there's times where Steph is in the gym or like waking up and it's like, I don't really actually want to go strength train, or I don't really want to go put these shots up. I'd rather chill with the family, but I'm gonna go do it because I know my ultimate goal is championship. My ultimate goal is X, Y, and Z, so he goes and does it. And then within the work, he probably finds joy when he's there. I'm assuming, never had this conversation with him, but I'm assuming while he's putting up his shots, while he's working on his moves, while he's doing strength, he finds the enjoyment and the presence in it. But it's still work. You know what I mean? Like, it's still work. So those are like the three things that I would tell anybody, whether they're 10 years old or 30 years old. You have to see yourself in the highest, and the world will fill in the rest. Persistence is important, because let's say you want something really bad and you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying, and on the 10th try you don't get it still, and then you say, okay, it must be a sign that I need to stop doing what I need to do. But what if you didn't know that on your 11th try you would have made it. You would have made it happen and got what you wanted to get. So I feel like persistence is important, because if you really truly love something and you truly believe, you should just do it for the love, and you don't get to where you're going, you still were doing something you love. So persistence is very important, for sure. Getting out of your comfort zones is the fastest way for growth. It's hard to grow when you're comfortable. You're not stretching yourself, you're not stretching your limits, you know, you're just in your comfort zone. So when I left a small city in North Carolina, 200,000 people, 150,000 people, and came to New York with 8 million, 10 million people, I was for sure uncomfortable. But just like you interviewing Jay-Z, I felt some nerves, but more importantly, I felt focused and I felt ready for the task. So I had to get out of my comfort zone to make it happen.
So when I did those numbers, 220-something thousand or 217,000, nobody expected that. Nobody in the industry expected that. I didn't even know I was gonna do those numbers. And what that was just a result of consecutive, non-stop touring, and also a combination of releasing free projects, which was really albums. So you take these mixtapes, these classic mixtapes, mixed with my touring, you develop a real fan base. Well, I'm going to Toronto and I'm selling it, and it's 4,000 kids in Toronto. Or I go to LA and it's 3,000. They don't see that. They didn't know if that translated to sales. So what we learned is a real solid fan base is way more important than a record at radio in the club. I go in the club and I hear a million songs from this rapper, a million songs from that rapper. That rapper can't sell the records I sell because he's not connecting to the people the way that I am. He is on the radio and he is when they want to party, but in terms of touring, in terms of saying the things that's going to affect their lives, in terms of an emotional connection, feeling they don't have.
I'm letting my mind like run the show, which is fine. I don't want that to happen for myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like a slave to my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's how I've been living my life, being like a slave to like my thoughts. And 98% of my thoughts ain't even my thoughts. It's something I seen on Twitter, heard on TV, something my mom told me when I was younger, something somebody else said me. So these thoughts are like fears and worries or like just ideas from other people. And it's like, that stuff is controlling me.
The society we live in. We live in this system, and that's why I was trying to say earlier, it all comes down to this system. Anybody will do, for the most part, anything for the money. And I don't just mean people that's pimping themselves out on TV or even really just, selling their bodies. I'm talking about people that go to a job every day that they hate. You sold out too. We all sellouts. You selling out. You're going to something that you don't like so you can live and survive. To me, life don't feel like it's supposed to be like that no more. You know what I mean? It don't feel right. I feel like somebody's time gotta be worth more than $8 an hour. You spend your whole day going to work, 8 hours out of your day. Day is only 24 hours. You're gonna sleep 8 of those. So right away, that's 16 hours. Half of your day is making $8 an hour. Even if you get 15 an hour and they trying to raise minimum wage, like what, to 15? An hour of my life is worth $15?
You have to stop looking at what you don't have and what's not happening for you and start appreciating like what you do actually have. Like, my man, you got on a nice watch, like your hat is fresh, like you're in New York City, it's the land of opportunity, you know what I mean? You're a good looking guy, I'm sure you got maybe a girlfriend, like there's a lot of things, your family, there's a lot of things to be grateful for. And that's the only way you can climb out of like a place of focusing on what you don't have is by focusing on like, man, what do I have to be thankful for? And everybody got something to be thankful for. Even a homeless man, if he wanted to, he could be like, yo, I'm breathing today. Like, you know what I mean? Like my arms work, my legs work. You can start very small. It's a process, but that's how you can get up out like of a negative space like that.
But when I was young, I thought that success was all I needed. That's what was gonna bring the happiness. Buying my mom a house, being the fame, the accolades, having people say, yo, you are the best in the game. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there. And I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around you. You're so focused on the next success, the next step in your career, the next check, whatever it is, and you forget the fact that you have these things that seem small if you're looking that way, but if you look this way, you realize they're the only thing that matters, and that's your mother, that's your family, that's love.
Any musician, period, any artist, I think just absolutely do what's in your heart, period. Say what's on your mind, speak what's in your heart and how you really feel. When you're trying to be something else, when you're trying to fit into what's going on, it's like you kind of stray away from your path a little bit. And sometimes you want to expand your style and like grow, and that's always good, but like never veer too far from who you are, as a person. I don't buy into my own hype. Like I'm grateful for the reactions and the appreciation, but I don't buy into like, yeah, I'm the man. Like, nah, I feel like I got a lot left. I'm gonna be here for years. Like, being hot in 2013 is cool, and being critically acclaimed in 2013 is cool, but like, what about 2020? Like, where am I gonna be? I don't wanna be making a documentary 20 years from now talking about like this as if it was the end.